STEM Academy faculty, staff, students, and parents. Although I did work incredibly hard to earn this GPA, and I knew for a while that I was ranked number 2 in my class, this culminating speech was the hardest part that I had been dreading throughout most of high school. This fear comes not from a lack of enough interesting events to talk about, and it does not at all stem from having stage fright. This worry has to do with not knowing how to encapsulate a 4-year experience that has forced me to evolve through every phase imaginable. During high school, I tried to find who I was more than anything, and for much of my life I thought I had to do it alone. Before these 4 years, most of my friends knew me as sheltered, much too withdrawn, and at times robotic. Despite this, those traits were definitely a major part of who I was. You, however, my classmates, and the connections that we made helped me realize how bright the world could be if I opened my eyes and stopped trying to hide from the light. Obviously, I'm forever grateful to my parents and teachers for getting me this far, but it was the camaraderie and closeness of our classmates that helped me more than anything else during these 4 years at STEM. It seemed that once I had this revelation, my outlook on every aspect of my life was flipped around. The person I became post-quarantine was a stark contrast to every other version of me prior. My focus no longer became on trying to detach myself, but it was to enjoy living in the moment with others instead of existing as someone isolated. I might have made some questionable choices, but I experienced all of those mistakes with all of you, making every last mistake worth it. It was because of this that I often describe high school as perfectly blissful. When objectively looking back on every hardship our senior class faced during our time at STEM, it would be difficult to describe this experience as anything but perfect, by any means. To mention a few instances, we had the dreaded dress uniform Mondays during our freshman year, the beloved teachers such as Mrs. Troncali, Miss Buskey, Miss Flores, and Mrs. Henry leaving to pursue other ventures, each of whom returned to wish us well on decision day, and our unfulfilled desire to go on trips whenever we pleased. It's also hard to forget our short time back at OPA when the boiler broke this year, along with the final exams we struggled through over the past few months. However, it was our sense of togetherness that made this journey worthwhile. The good, bad, and ugly memories we share will always have a special place in our heart because they are just that, shared memories. Almost everyone we will meet in the future will have different paths, perspectives, and plans. This can be said for a lot of us as well, but it's invaluable to meet people who make trying times worth going through. It's with great pleasure that I can say that I was able to so many of these people still. I can hardly remember how I first made friends with Tamara, Caleb, Martha, and Emily, but all I know is that they put up with me for so long. It was probably much easier to let me go. Yashika was my first new friend in 8th grade, and our friendship was so long to the point that I got to witness all of her amazing accomplishments. The new person that I became also allowed me to form unexpected friendships, ones that I could barely fathom gaining if I still had such a colorless outlook on life. From Momo's menacing glares to Emilio's questionable ways of showing his gratitude, and Ashton, Julio, and Kevin making me laugh until I cried. I could barely notice anything negative going on around me because I had them. Although Tamara didn't always approve of everything that I did, I can't imagine going through high school or anything in the future. Right there to bring me back down to earth. And to all who I've not specifically named, please know that each of you contributed to the success of the class of 2023. I quickly realized that this was the happiest period of my life, which was probably the most painful part of becoming so close with the other seniors. It's often said that you don't know what you have until it's gone, but it's arguably much worse for the ones that do know. I never took it for granted when I first met all of you, and it became so devastating as we experienced closure in this phase of our lives. Having said that, The impermanence of bliss is just as significant as the bliss itself. The fact that something so beautiful is coming to an end means that something bigger and better is out there waiting for us. On that note, I leave the senior class and the audience with this. The rest of our lives will be anything but easy, and it might seem easier at times to detach from it all and let life pass you by. However, you aren't simply here to survive all of life's obstacles. To live is to feel, and finding people that make you feel more than you ever thought possible makes every hardship worth it. Thank you, class of 2023, for inspiring each of us to be the best we can be.